600th game for David Krejci, 600th point for Patrice Bergeron, and the Bruins win 7-3 over Dallas. Are you... What? How did this even happen? 7-3 over Dallas, a team in the group of death known as the Central, neck and neck with St. Louis and Chicago, and the Bruins win 7-3. Absolutely unreal. We'll get into the goals, but first, bravo to Tuukka Rask, shutting the door after an incredibly rough start, and man, just 6 straight goals to take away the win. Again, just absolutely incredible. And to think that the Bruins ended up outshooting Dallas 42-29, especially after the way the first period started with ridiculous offensive pressure from the Stars, this game just doesn't seem real. Hell, Dallas had 16 blocked shots, and the Bruins still finished with 42 shots on goal. Sure, being, 3 for 6 on the power play probably helped, but then again, this is the same power play that was 1 for 32 since the All-Star break, the previously best power play in the league. I just can't get over this. I mean, yeah, some people still question the Dallas defense and goaltending, but the numbers don't lie. At the very least, and I know they were on a 2-game slide prior to this, and that they let up 6 goals against Zona the game before, but I'm just glad they decided to have another rough game against Boston of all teams. 2 notes before we talk about the goals. Morrow in for Trotman. I thought he did pretty well, racking up a couple of assists. He's not Colin Miller, but we can't take that away from him. And Ryan Spooner was out. Kemppainen takes the third-line center spot, Talbot on the fourth, and surprisingly, neither were horrendous in their roles. Probably not the ideal situation in terms of center depth, but it worked. Now again, the first period. Dallas started off hot, as you would expect. I'm not sure if that was a case of, the Bruins weren't ready, as much as it was that Dallas is just simply a really good team. And a side note about this game, there were a bit too many breakaways for any team to give up, whether Pee-wee or pro, but thankfully the Bruins survived. But Ales Hemsky would score the game's first goal 12 minutes in, sniping one past Rask. However, a minute and a half later, who else? Brad Marchand and his 29th goal of the season, a new career high for the Little Ball of Hate, and the Bruins tie it. And let me just say this to Brett Connolly, well done. Criticized him a little bit, but the chemistry he has with Bergeron and Marchand continues to grow, and his beautiful pass set up Marchand for this very grinded-out style of goal. And now we get to the fun stuff. 2 goals, roughly 45 seconds apart, for Anton Roussel and Patrick Sharp. First up, the Roussel goal. Was there goalie interference? Make sure to vote in the poll above, but it's certainly debatable. Do I think it's a good goal? Yes. Is it called that way consistently, though? No. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding officials this year, and of course, as far as the Bruins go, they're far from safe from it, seemingly losing and being on the wrong end of every single coach's challenge. I know they won their first coach's challenge at the start of the season, and I don't think they've won one since. Now for fun stuff, part 2, the Patrick Sharp goal. Now there's no debate that the puck was going in. Rask makes the initial sweep after the first save, sending the puck into Adam McQuaid's skate, and that puck is clearly going in. You cannot debate that. The question, of course, is was it intentional of McQuaid knocking the net off its pegs? Again, it's going to be subjective. I personally say no. I can see why some people say yes, but to me, I don't see how in that situation he intentionally knocked the net off its moorings. But regardless, 3-1 Dallas, that's the way the first period would end. However, now we get to talk about the real fun stuff. It's the second period. Oh my God, the second period. Starting it off, Brad Marchand with his 30th goal of the season on the power play. Simply unreal. Snaps it past Lettinen. 3-2 game still in Dallas' favor. But then 35 seconds later, Kevin Miller? Hell yeah, Kevin Miller. I'm not going to be two-faced about this. Obviously, I'm on the Kevin Miller shouldn't be getting these minutes bandwagon. But obviously, I don't hate the guy. He's trying to do his best in the role that he's been placed in. And whether or not he's, quote-unquote, good enough to be there, well, that's not up to him. That's up to management. But I do give him credit. Not every game's an absolute shit show. And in this game, he gets rewarded. A bouncing puck guided into the net by the sweet hands of the hockey gods gives Killer his 4th of the year and ties the game up at 3 apiece. End of the second, and we have time for one more controversy, but this time it's in the Bruins' favor. Krejci feeds Louis in front. He clearly kicks it, but he kicks it up to his tape, slams it home. 4-3 Boston in the last minute of the second. It's Louis' 21st of the year, and the 30-year-old continues to get it done, and his value continues to rise. But man, if they trade him. I've praised his work in front of the net all year and will continue to do so. He has 21 goals in 59 games. He had 22 in 81 games last season. He's certainly on pace to reach 26, which he hasn't done since the 2011-2012 season. And of course, in the past, he's had 27 goals, 29, and at one point in his career, a career high of 36. Now, I don't know if he has 15 more goals in him to reach his previous high, but he'll certainly hit 30. And it's not all that often that the Bruins have multiple 30-goal scorers in a season. Third period, and we'll gloss over this because this episode's going a little bit long. Krejci gets his 14th of the year on the power play. Connolly gets his 8th of the year on an empty net, with Bergeron and Marchand both getting an assist. And Mapalevsky on a late power play gets his 9th of the year. 7-3 final. An amazing, amazing game. But quickly, I have to ask once again, where are the Bruins heading? Who the hell knows, honestly. 4-2 on a 6-game road trip is certainly good for any team, and they're still duking it out with the likes of Tampa and with Detroit for those top 3 spots in the Atlantic. The same old questions remain, and they will for the next 8 days. But that is it for this one, guys. Again, I'm just trying to enjoy this win with the Bruins' inconsistencies. Who knows how the next game will go, but this is just such a gigantic and satisfying win over a team that is somewhat considered to be a legitimate title contender. Dallas might still be a piece or two away, maybe on defense, maybe in goaltending, but they are a tough team to beat, and the Bruins got it done. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, drop a like down below. Subscribe for more, for recaps after every single Bruins game. They might not be up immediately the day after, but they'll be up eventually. And of course, spread the word, and I will see you all next time.